because a lot of us, and I understand the reasoning behind it and the need for it, is some of us, and myself included, sometimes feel that we must keep our heads down and keep out of trouble, especially in the light of social media being such a huge part of our lives at this point.
Yeah.
It's easy to feel like if I say anything, I'm going to get canceled. And that's absolutely true, especially for our marginalized groups. It's absolutely true for the folks in the LGBTQ plus community. It's absolutely true in with those of us who are people of color,
Yeah.
and there's such a need and feeling of to be
Right.
protective of what we're doing, what we're saying, our points of views, and what have you, so that we can just at least stay at the table.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit, which is part of why we're here at the today,
Right.
is there has to be some point where some of us see that something is wrong, and when we feel like we have the ability and to move forward and at least bring it to light, come to the table, say something, do something to at least get the conversation rolling, like Kyle was trying to do this entire time. I'd like to see more of that.
That's the hope. Yeah.
Whether or not we're talking about the union. I'm not just talking about the union
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
You know, like we were talking about before with people being possibly recast and replaced and things like that. That happens in union and non-union, and sometimes it's just going to happen for one reason or another. It is absolutely the prerogative of the production
Right.
to make that choice. But sometimes those things, it's so much better to be able to have that knowledge beforehand, so the actor walking in can make an informed decision.
Yeah.
I have had multiple situations where I have walked into a job not realizing until most of the way through the production, and there was one occasion where that happened to me, and it resulted in me being dogpiled and getting death threats. And I would have liked to have known
Yeah.
beforehand
Yeah.
that this was a possibility. I would have liked to have known what I was walking into
Right.
before I said, yes to this position. And I was very grateful that it was happening to me, because I was already in the middle of my career and feeling okay and kind of buoyed by my community. Whereas somebody who might have just gotten that job and had never had a job in their life on some sort of voiceover work, they might have gotten completely traumatized, terrified, and left. And that's not okay to me.
Yeah.
So I would love to see a little bit more advocacy for ourselves and each other. I'd like for the playing field to feel like a place where you can safely say something and not feel like you have to just kind of kowtow to the situation as it is, as it stands.
Right.
And hopefully we'll be able to start a better communication, not just within LA and just within Texas and just within New York or whatever, but at least,
At
if not
least
further,
nationally, but
national
hopefully
conversation,
globally. Yeah.
hopefully
Exactly.
global conversation,
Right.
because more than ever before, we are able to work
Yeah.
with
Our
people,
worlds are colliding more and more and more, for
you
sure.
know,
Yeah.
and it would only behoove us to, number one, have a more transparency and be on each other's side.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
just how I feel. So hopefully, over the course of this conversation, you've been able to receive some sort of information that helps you make one decision or another, or at least sends you in a direction to seek out more information, or maybe somebody who might have seen this or will see this later on might be interested, especially from Texas, in having a further conversation to bring to light things that we just can't see from where we're sitting. Um, so that we can move in a more productive direction, and there's less contention here at this level,
Yeah.
because all that fighting is going to do for actors against actors is make sure that the the people who are signing the checks don't have to deal with it.